Welcome to Business Innovators Radio, featuring industry influencers and trendsetters sharing proven strategies to help you build a better life right now.
Hello and welcome to the show. This is your host, JC Soto. Today we have a best-selling author, coach, and she's also the owner of a very informative, very engaged Facebook group. Her name is Carden. Welcome to the show, Ann.
Thank you, JC. Thanks for having me on.
Well, Ann, I follow you. I listen to your videos. I know you like to help coaches and consultants, but you look for a specific type of consultant that you like to help. Who are those people that you like to help, and how do you help them?
Sure. So I have a couple of things that I do. First of all, I love working with people that I would almost call experts. They have a lot of experience. They have a lot of career collateral. They have knowledge and skills and just brilliance that they could actually package up and go help other people with it. And so they may be coming from a corporate job, or it may be the next stage in their life. They're trying to figure out, they're leaving their career and they're looking, how can I utilize all of this knowledge and this experience that I've built up over the years and go and make a difference and help other people and sort of build a legacy, but maybe even build another income stream or more revenue, that type of thing, for even retirement. So those people I love to help create their business around what it is they are so good at and so brilliant at, because a lot of people undervalue and underestimate what they really know and what they've learned through the years. And even if they do realize they've got a lot to offer, they don't necessarily know how to package that up and market and sell that and make money with it. So that's one side. And then the other side is I love to work with consultants, coaches, even professional service providers who are really looking to make those bigger financial leaps in their business and really scale their business to something much greater. So, going towards that, $500,000, 7-figure mark, $1 million mark, and even beyond, but doing it in a way that they're not giving up all of their freedom. So helping them really build that financial and that personal freedom that they can get from their business. So those are kind of the two types of people I work with.
And when they come to you, do they have some kind of fears, some hesitation to hire a coach to help them get to that next level?
Yes and no. A lot of the people that I work with, a lot of times already have an established business, or because they're not coming from just a place of, I think I want to start a business, and they're actually coming from real world experience. I don't get that quite so much any longer. But if I were working with startups, like what I would really consider startups, like, I think I want to start a coaching business, but I don't have any background or anything, then I think you get a lot more of that. But I don't get so much of that anymore when I show people how to package up what they already know and they're so good at. I think fear and lack of confidence comes a lot when people are trying to build their business around something that they're not really certain about. Like maybe they're trying to learn something new that they've never done before. A good example of this is buying into a coaching organization to be a business coach. We see this a lot, but they've never run a business or owned a business. That's going to be a really tough road for people versus taking something that you've been so good at all of these years. So maybe you've come from a sales background and you've got all of this experience in sales. That would be a great thing to build your business around. So when you kind of help people shift in what they're thinking they want to do for their business, and you help them kind of work in, I call it your sweet spot. A lot of people call it your genius zone. When you work in something that you're already good at, then the fear kind of goes away because you already know that you've got this amazing value that you can add to others and help others with. And you've automatically got this confidence built in because it's not foreign to you. You're not trying to learn something, if that makes sense.
That makes a lot of sense. Now, you said that you help coaches, consultants, and professional businesses. You do what we call offline businesses. What are those businesses that you help?
Well, I work with a lot of different types of businesses. I've worked in over 47 different industries as a coach and a consultant, but I love working with professionals. So it could be CPAs, it could be chiropractors, so it could be practitioners. It could be accountants, attorneys, people who are in the professional space, because a lot of times they don't package their services in a way that can make them more money or give them those bigger financial leaps. So I love to help them sort of restructure and redesign their business so that they're making more money, working less and with less overwhelm, helping them be more profitable. So I do work with professional service providers. And then with small business owners, it's all things business, everything from building their team to helping them be more profitable. I do a lot of cash flow turnarounds with small businesses, anything and everything really, from marketing, sales, almost anything that they deal with in their business. I've been there, done it, and helped others do it. So there's not much that comes across in business that, I can't help them with.
So you've been there, you've done it. What's your background? What's the story behind Carden? How did you start this business, and what was the spark that got you started?
Well, thank you for asking. I actually was 13 years in corporate business management, managing multiple $1 million departments in a multi-billion-dollar company. And that was many, many years ago. So I've got about 41 years total business marketing sales experience. And I left that corporate job after 13 years when I had babies, and I decided I wanted to be a stay-at-home mom. But it wasn't very long. We were really financially struggling, and I started looking for a way to make money. And I started my first business, basically running a creative manufacturing company out of my home that went global. I employed, 7 or 9 other moms that were coming in and out of my house with, so it really was like building a manufacturing company in my home. But I was shipping globally, and we didn't have the internet or the technology that we have today. So everything was done the old-fashioned way. I mean, this is such a godsend to us to have technology and everything that we have today. But I didn't start with that. So I built that first business. I sold it after 7 years. I started my second. And since then, I've built over 29 years. My consulting and coaching business is my 6th business. So I've sold the other 5 that I've built. So that's how I got into this.
That's pretty interesting. So you sold your businesses. Mm-hmm. Now, when you talk to some of the coaches and consultants, they don't have that mentality that maybe one day I would like to maybe sell this business, get rid of it, make some money, get established, and then maybe make some money and sell it someday, right? They don't think that way.
Right. Now, you'll see the more professional services do that. So like a CPA, that might be their end goal. Even an attorney building a firm, that might be their end goal. So you get that more in the professional services space. But as far as coaches and consultants, no, not so much. You don't really get that same mindset. You get that more, even small businesses. A lot of times I have to get them to think bigger, like you're building an asset here. Your business can be an asset. It can be a retirement. It can be, something that when you're ready to get out, you've got something that's worth something here. And so I really always do try to put that into someone's mindset, so that they can look at that as an opportunity. It doesn't mean everyone is interested in that or cares about that. But I always do like to really build the vision that it could be more for them.
That's a good idea, because, that's something that you can sell it or you can pass it down to maybe one of your kids, or somebody in the family that you would like to have it and continue on with that business.
Yes, absolutely. And, one way they can do that is to develop programs and products that kind of take them out of doing the work. So, this is where a lot of times a great course or something that's kind of a legacy can be created, and people can, or you can hire consultants or coaches under you and build a company. There's lots of ways to do it, but, you have to want that, you have to be willing to put in the work. It's like building any other business, it's going to be a process to get it there. And I think consulting, a lot of times maybe have more of that mindset than at coaches. So, you just get a variety of how people think and what they want.
That's right. Can you give us an example of someone that you helped to go from from where they are to that next level that they've been seeking for a while and they feel stuck for the longest time?
Sure. I actually, I could give you several examples, but one that comes to my mind is, I really love a high ticket business model, and I sort of wrote my book around this. And I think it's the fastest path for people when they start with their high ticket first and then they back build to lower tiers instead of starting low and then trying to ascend people. So I always talk about the fact that I flipped that value ladder that a lot of coaches learn, start very low and then you build people up and over time they'll become a high ticket client. And I have not found that to be a very fast path. And so what I did years ago is I kind of came across how to go high ticket. And that was such a game changer for me in my business that I now teach that. And that's also why I love to help people take their expertise and package that up versus learning something new, because they can typically start out very high ticket. I have a client that her rock bottom offer when right out of the gate was going to be $200,000. And she really believed that she would have $1 million offer when she actually took it to market. And she had a waiting list for the $200,000 offer. So I like to help people start high. And then from there, they can add layers to their business to offer, lower tier services. But I think so in that same way of thinking, I had a client that I think for several years she was charging, it was under $10,000 was her top tier offer. And she had charged that for several years, but she was having these amazing breakthroughs with her clients. She was doing big things with them, but she just never raised her prices. And one of the reasons is she said, I keep getting, the people that are coming to me, they would not be able to afford to pay more than that. And she had come across one of my videos on Facebook and she said, looked at everything. She said, I know you can help me. So we raised her offers. We had to restructure her offers so they showed more value. And we raised them to $45,000 and $34,000, right at $34,000. And we then had to change the clients that she was targeting because the clients she was targeting were the wrong people for those kinds of offers. And then we also had to change up her marketing and her sales process. All of those pieces had to level up. We had to level up her brand. But long story short, in about 60 days of getting those things in place, she closed several $100,000 in new clients at the higher level. So she was closing them at that $45,000 and $34,000 level. And she didn't find it. It took a little while with the sales process because she kind of had to relearn, how to go from closing something low to closing something high. But once we kind of worked through all of that and dialed that in, she became just a rock star at doing that. So that's just one client that I'm thinking of off the top of my head.
So it's a lot about mindset, right?
It is about mindset, but it's also about having the right things in place. Yeah. And a lot of times people want to raise their prices, but they, and then maybe they're trying to raise their prices doing what they're doing, but that's not going to work. And it's not necessarily a mindset problem. They have a structure problem. They have a marketing problem. They have a sales problem. And so I always say if you want to raise your prices, but it's not happening, it's not necessarily mindset. There could be a little bit of that, but a lot of times it's just the business structure and model isn't set up right. Everything's not set up for your success.
Well, let's talk about your book. Now you are a best-selling author, and your book has been around for about a year now?
About a year. Mm-hmm.
About a year now.
Yes.
And so that's another way that you're helping people to look at their business from a different perspective and have a better idea of how to level up, how to look at the future of the business. And like you said, it's not only, it might be mindset, it might not be mindset, but it might be part of the whole mix of things that need to be fixed. How do you come up with the book and how's the book doing and how it's helping people? And do you have any feedback that you can give us on the book? Anything that you want to talk about your book? Wow.
Well, thank you, first of all, for the opportunity to talk about it. I I actually wrote that book out of frustration with what I had gone through in the coaching and consulting industry and the many rabbit holes I went down before I discovered my process and really worked out my process. And so the book was sort of written out of frustration to kind of shift the thinking and the mindset around why a lot of coaches and consultants don't make the money that they want, or they stay really overwhelmed. So on the consulting side, they stay very, they're almost like an employee in a company. On the coaching side, most of them aren't making, I think it's such a small percentage that even breaks through the $100,000 mark. And it's because they haven't really structured their business in the right way. They're taught to start out low and then try to scale people up. And that's just a long road. I kept hitting this invisible ceiling every time I tried to get past, I think like the $5,000 a month mark. I just kept hitting this ceiling. And it wasn't until I really learned to do high ticket that everything just completely changed. So that was one of the reasons why I wrote the book. But the book is really from startup to scale up. It will help a startup coach get the right fundamentals in place. Even just the piece I have in there about how to create a high ticket offer, it walks you through the process. And I've had so many coaches message me and say, oh my gosh, this book, it is like a roadmap. It's like a guide. And that's really what I wanted it to be. I wanted it to sort of be my low ticket item that I could offer people if they weren't able yet to invest, or they were just starting out and they kind of didn't know what they didn't know. It sort of opens up their mindset to what it really does take to build a business. And then I talk about the different stages of a business in my book, which I think is really powerful because I don't think a lot of people think that way. They're just out there trying to get a client and make money and build their business, but they don't really realize that there are different levels in a business and each level requires something different. So I talk a lot about that too. Like, here's what you can kind of expect in stage 1. And here's, this is what stage 2 is all about. And so it gets them thinking sort of about the next place, that they could now achieve or have happen in their business.
Yeah, so it gives them a structure, what to follow and what to look for at each
yes.
step, to be able to get to the higher stages.
Yes.
Yeah. So and I also know that is also, like you say, it's a blueprint. It doesn't have just how to do your coaching and consulting, but it talks about how to run your business as a CEO, be the CEO of your business, which is what's going to really help you get to that higher level and be able to really have a business, not just another job, but something that you can actually has a value as an asset.
Yes, absolutely. And you really did say it is a roadmap. It is really a guide to take them from the very beginning into the scale up stage. And it covers everything from money it covers mindset. It covers marketing, sales, money. I go into even how to understand profitability and cash flow and all of those things, in one of the chapters, because when you get to a certain level, it's not just about you now. You might be building a team. And so it is about building a real business and not just a hobby. And, you kind of said something about, with consulting, you said, so, you're not an employer, that you're not taken over by your business. And one of the things I talk a lot about is if you're working more than 10 to 12 hours a week in your business doing the things, so like you're consulting or you're coaching, you're actually doing the work, then you're already losing money in your business. You're already missing opportunities in your business that could be helping it grow. And so you have to realize that there is a level that you get to in your business where now you either have to hire out all of the help so that you can keep doing the thing that you love so much, or you've got to step into really a CEO role and an owner role, and you have to start building a team around you so that you can still work in your genius, but you still can run the company. And that's where a lot of people, I think, they kind of go wrong in their business and they're just out there making a little bit of money, but they're not building a true business.
they're working for the business. It's like, they're slaved every day.
A job.
And yeah, exactly. Another job.
You built a job for yourself. Congratulations,
exactly.
Right?
I know. Yeah. So you don't have any help from anybody, and they don't have the blueprint you publish that they can apply. It is so detailed, your book, that, you can take that book and apply step by step and have a working business, organized structure the way it's supposed to be. So I fully endorse your book. Thank you for putting that out.
Thank you.
And both versions are on Amazon, right? The digital version and the printed version, right?
Yes.
Okay. What about your group? What's the name of your Facebook group? You always putting out good content, especially videos. It's a lot easier to watch a 10-minute video that takes you step by step than having to sit down and write a piece of text that people might not even read.
Yes. So thank you for asking. It's called Next Level Consultants, Coaches, and Experts.
So
Next Level Growth. I actually did just change the name. So it's now Next Level Growth for consultants, coaches, and experts. Mm-hmm.
Next Level Growth. Okay. Mm-hmm. So we're going to have that link just below the video, and we're going to have also links to your books so people can, because I fully endorse your books. I mean, people need to read it, not only read it, but apply what you give them, because this is big money stuff. I mean, anybody that will teach you this stuff will charge you tens of thousands of dollars to give you this advice, and you get to keep it for one thing, because it's a book. And
when I think about how long it took me to write that, I went back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. When I look at the time, I'm like, oh my goodness, yeah, it feels like you're giving it away, but
that's the thing. You are a teacher. You like to teach people. You like to help people, and you want to put in there as much as you can to help them out. Because you've been there before, you know that there are coaches and consultants that have been tripped up by other ideas are there that are not effective. They don't work, and they waste a lot of their time and money finding the right way to do things.
Absolutely. No, that's exactly right. But, the reality, I put that book out to make a difference, but I also want people to know I can't put everything in a book. It's not humanly possible, right? And so that's where the expertise or actually working with someone has so much more value. So the book is a great start, and it definitely can move you forward. And it's got so much gold in it and so many things that I learned that I wanted to put in it, but it isn't possible to give you everything. And I think, I don't know people that get transformations from a book. If we did, we'd all be billionaires, right? It does not happen. Yeah. So it's like I said, it's a great way for people to start. It's even a great way to get you thinking differently about your business, or to maybe not have to go through some of the mistakes and the pitfalls that I struggled with when I started. So that was really my whole intention of putting it out there, is to sort of give you this, in a way, a 30,000 foot view. And there's a lot of details in there, but it's still a kind of a big view of what the coaching industry is, and, how you should kind of look at things in the business and make the right decisions and things like that. So that was really the purpose for the book. But I have had people say, oh my goodness, this changed everything that I was doing. And so I know there's a lot of value in it, but, to really get to high levels, it's going to take more than a book. And
that's what we're going to cut to, how they can get a hold of you if they want to have a talk with you about their business. Because this, like you said, the book is it's an eye opener, but it's not going to help them get to that level. You need that coaching, that person that is there. And it's going to, look at everything in your business and help you with the things that need to be structured and realigned the right way. How can they contact you?
Well, certainly you can reach me on Facebook or LinkedIn, either way, but you can go right to my website, and there's a place to book. There's also a lot of other free resources there for you as well, but it's AnnLCarden.com.
Appreciate you being here. I mean, it's been a while since we talked, and really enjoy our conversation. And
Me too. I've missed you, JC.
I know we keep looking at each other in Facebook, but sometimes it goes so fast, and we keep say hello and goodbye, and that's it. So
I know. Well, you're busy. I'm busy. That's a good thing, right? We want to be busy.
Exactly. So
wait a minute. Let me reframe that. You're successful. I'm successful. We want to be successful.
Yeah, successful. Yeah.
There we go.
Busy and successful.
Yes, because you can have a busyness, which doesn't get you anywhere, right?
Yeah, exactly. Well, be employed, again, feeling employed instead of being successful and having a working business. So thank you for taking off your busy schedule and joining us. So I'm going to have all your links to your books and your email address and your Facebook groups just below the video. I appreciate you coming on to my show, and I look forward to contacting and connecting with you on probably Facebook, and hopefully we can do one of these again one more time in the near future, before another year goes by.
I would love it. JC, it's always a pleasure. Thank you so much for having me on.
Thank you, Ann. And everybody else, thank you for listening. And this is JC with Online Media 360. Like I said, all her links are going to be just below the video. Until next time, bye for now.
Thanks for listening to Business Innovators Radio. To hear all episodes featuring leading industry influencers and trendsetters, visit us online at businessinnovatorsradio.com today.